ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 12, Dhruva Mahārāja goes back to Godhead. Text 21. Vijñāya tav uttamagāya kiṅkarau abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ nanāma nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ. Vijñāya tav uttamagāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ. nanāma nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ. vijñāya tav uttamagāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ. nanāma nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ. vijñāya tav uttamagāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ. nanāma nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ.
vijñāya tav uttamagāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ nanāma nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ.
vijñāya tav uttamagāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ.
vijñāya tav uttamagāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ nanāma nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ.
vijñāya tava uttamagāya-kiṅkarāv nanāma nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv saṁhatāñjaliḥ vijñāya uttamagāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ nāmāma nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ
vijñāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ
uttamagāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti
विज्ञानताव उत्तमगाय-किङ्कराव अभ्युत्थितः साधुवास-विस्मृतक्रमः नामानि गृह्ण madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ
Mataji's
nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ
Vijñāya, after understanding, Tau, them, Uttama-gāya, of Lord Viṣṇu, the excellent renown, kiṅkarau, two servants, abhyutthitaḥ, stood up, sādhvasa, by being puzzled, vismṛta, forgot, kramaḥ, proper behavior, nanāma, offered obeisances, nāmāni, names, gṛṇan, chanting, madhu-dviṣaḥ, of the Lord, the enemy of madhu, pārṣat, associates, pradhānau, chief, iti, thus, saṁhata, respectfully joined, añjaliḥ, with folded hands. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Dhruva Mahārāja, seeing that these uncommon personalities were direct servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, immediately stood up. But being puzzled in hastiness, he forgot how to receive them in the proper way. Therefore, he simply offered obeisances with folded hands and chanted and glorified the holy names of the Lord. Please repeat after me. Dhruva Mahārāja, seeing that these uncommon personalities were direct servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, immediately stood up. But being puzzled in hastiness, he forgot how to receive them in the proper way. Therefore, he simply offered obeisances with folded hands and chanted and glorified the holy names of the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Chanting of the holy names of the Lord is perfect in every way. When Dhruva Mahārāja saw the Viṣṇu Dutas, the direct associates of the Lord Viṣṇu, four-handed and nicely decorated, he could understand who they were. But for the time being, he was puzzled. But simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna mantra, he could satisfy the uncommon guests who had all of a sudden arrived before him. The chanting of the holy name of the Lord is perfect, even though one does not know how to please the Lord Viṣṇu, or his associates. Simply by sincerely chanting the holy name of the Lord, everything becomes perfect. A devotee, therefore, either in danger or in happiness, constantly chants the Hare Krishna mantra. When he is in danger, he is immediately relieved. And when he is in a position to see Lord Viṣṇu or his associates directly, by chanting this Mahamantra, he can please the Lord. This is the absolute nature of the Mahamantra. Either in danger or in happiness, it can be chanted without limitation. Vijñāya uttama-gāya-kiṅkarāv abhyutthitaḥ sādhvasa-vismṛta-kramaḥ nanāma nāmāni gṛṇan madhu-dviṣaḥ pārṣat-pradhānāv iti saṁhatāñjaliḥ. Dhruva Mahārāja, seeing that the uncommon personalities were direct servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he immediately stood up. But being puzzled in hastiness, he forgot how to receive them in the proper way. Therefore, he simply offered obeisances with folded hands and chanted and glorified the holy name of the Lord. So, Viṣṇu Dutas, Sunanda and Nanda, these are two very intimate associates of the Lord in Vaikuntha, came to take Dhruva Mahārāja back to Godhead. This chapter is describing Dhruva Mahārāja goes back to Godhead. So when one effectively follows the path of devotional service, then what happens? What is the ultimate aim of devotional service? To go back to the spiritual sky, where we originally came from. Where did we come from? Madhya Pradesh, Bengal, London. Did we come from all these places? Or where did we come from? Our original home is the spiritual sky. Therefore, Prabhupada said, back to Godhead. We go back. We have to go back to where we originally belong to. And this is the ultimate perfection of human life. When one gets a human form of life, it has a very special purpose. The purpose of human life, what is the purpose of human life? is to get a good job and make a lot of money. Or run a business, make a lot of money. There is no harm in making money as long as you give it to Krishna. But generally people make money to enjoy themselves. But there are some people who actually do things for Krishna. That is the meaning of devotional service. Yesterday I was talking to Arjuna Nath. Arjuna Nath was telling me that he has always been very frugal. He lives in New York. He used to live in New York. Now he lives in Guyana. And he used to be very frugal. In New York, in America, everybody has a car. But he said that he never bought a car. Because buying car means just in insurance you pay $1,200 a year. Then you pay for the gas, you pay for... And he was telling that he didn't buy a car and he used to transport by public transport. He used to commute by public transport. There are buses, undergrounds, and he was telling that he would people buy jacket for $100, $150. He used to buy a jacket for $15. He used to buy sneakers for $5 instead of $50. And this way he used to save money. And what did you do with your money, Arjuna? He used to save his money and give it to Krishna. He used to give a lot of donations. I remember first time he came to see me, it was during the Rath Yatra in New York. He came and he told me, Maharaj, I never knew him. He just came to me and he said, I have something for you. I said, okay, what is that? I never expected what he had to offer. He gave me a bundle of $100 bills. Was it 5,000?
Started at 1,000.
Okay. So he gave, just first time I'm meeting him, he just came and gave me $1,000. And then he has always been giving to Krishna. He built one ashram for the Gurukul, school building in Mayapur, Gurukul. So there are some people who, whatever they have, they offer to Krishna. And by doing that, what happens? By doing that, they buy the ticket back to God. This is the price one pays. It doesn't matter how much you give. What really matters is how much you keep for yourself. Krishna doesn't see how much you are giving. Krishna sees that, but what Krishna counts is how much you're keeping for yourself. A person who has millions of dollars, if he gives hundreds of thousands of dollars, it is not as much as when somebody who has $5 and gives all this $5 to Krishna. That $5 is more important, more valuable to Krishna than hundreds of millions of dollars. And there are so many such wonderful examples in our country. Actually, there is a very beautiful story in relation to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj was performing the Rajasuya Yajna. And when the Yajna was performed, then everybody was praising, oh, this Yajna was so successful. And at that time, all of a sudden, a mongoose You know the mongoose? The mongoose arrived there. Its half of his body was made of gold, and the other half of his body was like mongoose. And it started to roll on the Yajna area. And then it stood up after rolling. He said, no, this is not the best sacrifice. So everyone asked, what happened? Why are you saying that? Then he said that, once I went to a place where there was a famine. There was no food in the whole country. And people are dying of starvation. And at that time I saw one Brahmin. I went to one house. That house belonged to a Brahmana. And that Brahmana, after begging, got some food. They cooked the food. They were about to eat after 6-7 days of starvation. And when that Brahmana was about to take the food with his family, one guest arrived there and he said, I am very, very hungry. So then the Brahmana gave him his share. He said, I am still hungry. So his wife gave her share. He said, I am still hungry. So his son gave his share. Then he said, I am still hungry. And his daughter gave her share. And after when he ate, that guest left. That night, that all 4 of the family died. He said, I felt that this was the holiest of all places, where a person performs such an act of sacrifice. So in ecstasy, I started to roll on the ground. And there were a few dusts of the flower that were lying on the ground. And that touched half of my body, and half of my body became gold. And since then, wherever some sacrifice is performed, I go there and I roll on the ground with a hope that my other half will become gold. But it didn't happen. So if you are glorifying that this is the best sacrifice ever performed, where the Lord Himself is present, naturally it's a big, but even this sacrifice doesn't compare to that sacrifice. Because my body didn't become, the other half of my body didn't become gold. So, the sacrifice is offering everything to Krishna. And then, Krishna will here offer 100% of Himself. So the thing is not, the consideration is not how much we give. The consideration is how much we keep for ourselves. So sacrifice means to give away, to give everything away to Krishna. Give everything away for Krishna's pleasure. And that is the goal of human life. And devotion, that's why devotional service is the most important thing. Most important spiritual activity is devotional service. In devotional service, what does one do? One offers everything to Krishna. So offering, and this here also we have to see that how one is offering and to whom one is offering. Devotion means offering to Krishna, service to Krishna for His pleasure. Offering to the demigods can never be devotional service. Offering to the demigods are karma kanda. Why it's karma kanda? Because those offerings are selfish offering. We give them with an expectation to get something in return. But when you offer ourselves, first of all, we offer what belongs to us. Mama. First, it is mine. Whatever is mine, we offer to Krishna. And then finally, it is aham, I. So what is the ultimate offering? Like sometimes some people make great offerings. Like Ravana was cutting his head and offering it to the fire of sacrifice. But to whom? Was he doing it for Krishna? No, he was doing it to please Lord Shiva. Why Lord Shiva? Because by pleasing Lord Shiva, he wanted to get some benefit. Make me immortal. Make me immortal. He is killing himself to make him immortal. Hiranyakashipu, in order to please Brahma, he did such severe austerity. But what is the goal? Make me immortal. Why make me immortal? So that I can become an enemy of Krishna. Therefore, actually, when they grant the benedictions, they are not pleased, but they are compelled. With their performance of austerities, they acquire piety. With the piety, actually, they get these boons. But Lord Shiva feels pity for them, and eventually he can't help them. He tells them, I can't help you. Like Vanasura, Lord Shiva was such a great devotee that Lord Shiva even fought for him against Krishna. But eventually he couldn't help. And he tells them, look, he is my Lord and Master. He is my Lord and Master. I can't go against him. Similarly, Brahma gave the benediction, but with the understanding, okay, I am giving you the benediction that you are asking, but eventually the Lord will come and finish you off. Hiranyakashipu thought that he was so smart, now he became immortal. Nobody can kill him. No man, no demigod, no animal, no serpent, covered all different species of life. No weapon can kill him. He will not die during the day or at night. Brahma started giving the boons. Yeah, granted, tathastu, tathastu, tathastu. Let it be, let it be, let it be. He covered practically everything. Like Hiranyakashipu, by the benediction of Brahma, he became almost immortal. He couldn't become immortal. Brahma told him, no one in this material nature can be immortal. Even I am not immortal. So how can I give you the boon of being immortal? So Hiranyakashipu started to cover everything. Okay, I will not die during the day or night. I will not die with a weapon. I will not be died by any human being, demigod and so forth. I will not die inside the house or outside the house. I will not die either in the space or in the land or in water. Practically all the possibilities are covered. But the Lord has His inconceivable potency and His inconceivable intelligence. Okay, Hiranyakashipu, fine, I am coming. No man, no animal, no demigod, fine. I am half lion, half man. Am I man or animal? No, neither of them. You said that you won't be killed by any weapon? Okay. My nails. Nakham adbhuta shringam. Nail, no weapon. Fine. And what kind of nail? Tabo karo kamalo bari. Like your hands, those hands are like soft as lotus. And the nails of that hand can be so tender. You won't be killed during day and night, fine. When it's a conjunction of day and night, whether it's day, neither day nor night. Twilight. Not inside the house, outside the house. Okay, just at the doorstep. Neither inside nor outside. Not on the space, not on the land. Okay, on my lap. Which is neither the space nor the land. So this is how Krishna takes care of the demons. Therefore the intelligent thing is to just surrender to Krishna. Just surrender to Krishna. Because when the person is, in one hand, when he is so kind, and when he is invincible, when he is ajita, inconquerable, who can conquer him? Nobody can conquer him. Nobody can defeat him. So why go against him? Rather surrender to him. And when we surrender, we are seeing the result here, like Dhruva Mahārāja. The Lord sent his intimate associates, go get Dhruva to the spiritual world. So this is how the Lord rewards his devotees. Devotees therefore enjoy when they are in this world, and they also enjoy when they leave this world and go back to the spiritual world. Whereas the materialistic people, they may have some pleasure, but then again some pain. Their life is full of duality, pleasure and pain. And at the end of the day, at the end of their life, who knows what will happen to them? Who knows? Andhang tamo pravishanti. They enter into the region of darkness. And there they undergo all kinds of sufferings, punishments. So why should we subject ourselves to this kind of uncertainty, where there is imminent suffering? Rather, life is meant for enjoyment, joy. But what kind of joy? Not sensual pleasure. Sense pleasure is not the real joy. Sense pleasure is a relative experience. Matra sparshas tu kaunteya. Sometimes it's pleasing, sometimes it's painful. Now it's winter. Taking bath with hot water is so nice. And if there is no hot water, you have to take bath in cold water. Then it becomes so painful, so difficult. But in summertime, the same hot water will be so terrible. If the hot water is so hot and you have to take bath in summer, at that time a cold water is so pleasing. So this is matra sparshas tu kaunteya. Just the degree of temperature and perception of the senses. Matra sparshas tu kaunteya. Shitoshna sukha dukkhata. But real pleasure, real joy is by being connected to Krishna. When the soul becomes connected to Krishna, then soul becomes situated in its original position. Then the soul is anandamaya. Soul has joy in itself. So the soul experiences that joy just by being connected to Krishna. And as I was explaining yesterday, that joy becomes manifest in the form of ecstasy, in the form of tears of ecstasy, trembling of the body, standing of hair on its ends. So these are the ecstatic symptoms. This is how the real joy is experienced, just by being connected to Krishna. The soul establishes connection to Krishna, and it's another experience, an experience of another world altogether. Another kind of experience, which cannot be compared by any kind of sense gratification. In the material nature, we are just getting some temporary sense pleasure. It's like, just like tickling the body or scratching an wound. When there's a wound, scratching the wound gives a little pleasure. But what does it do? It makes the wound even more serious. It hurts the wound. One thinks that is pleasure by scratching, but ultimately what's happening? It is actually causing greater and greater pain. That is the experience of the material nature, the pleasure of the material nature. It's called kondayana. Kondayana means scratching an wound. Another expression is tushavaghato. Tushavaghato. Tusha means husk. भूसी भूसी बोलते हैं ना, और गेहूं को निकलने के बाद जो रह जाता है भूसा भूसा. Now you beat the grain and you get the grains. But if you beat the bhusha, गेहूं मिलेगा. So the English expression that Prabhupada used is, what is the expression?
Beating the empty husk.
What?
Beating the empty husk.
I was chewing the chewed. Chewing the chewed. The expression Prabhupada used is chewing the chewed. गन्ना का रस निकल लिया है, वो जो उसको चूसने से कुछ मिलेगा नहीं. भौतिक जगत का सुख का हाल भी वैसा ही है. The condition of material enjoyment is just like that. The juice has been extracted and what is left is just the pulp. Now if you chew the pulp, what will happen? Will you get any sweetness? No. Chewing the chewed. And so in this way, intelligent person realize that there is no pleasure in material nature. And we are seeing, it's happening. Nowadays, young boys and girls are becoming attracted to Krishna consciousness by realizing that there is no there is no joy in this material nature. It happened in the mid-60s in America when Prabhupada went there. The youth of America actually realized that money cannot buy you love. Money cannot buy you happiness. So they left home. Because in American society was very, very opulent at that time. In the mid-60s, they were at the peak of material prosperity. But the youth of America realized that there is no joy in that. And the father has a lot of money, but the father and mother don't have any time for them. A lot of money is there, but no love. Then they felt, what's the point in living in the house where there is no love? Rather, let's go out and find out where love is. So they left home. Rich people's sons and daughters, they left everything and became beggars, like beggars. Going out, living in the parks, And they thought the real happiness will come from sex and drugs. But at that time, they also realized, no, sex and drug also doesn't give us the happiness. Then Prabhupada came. And Prabhupada gave them the secret of real happiness. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Prabhupada gave a very simple formula. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And they chanted Hare Krishna and became happy. And that's why they offered themselves to Srila Prabhupada. So that is the real intelligence. What Americans understood in the mid-60s, the Indian youth are understanding now, after about 50 years. And that's what you're seeing. The educated young boys from the universities and prestigious institutions like IIT. Like in India, what is the goal of the youth? To get admission in IIT or IIM. And now what the IIT and IIM students are doing? What are you all doing? Becoming Hare Krishna. So what does it prove? It proves that the ultimate goal of life is Krishna consciousness. And that's what they're realizing. It's very fortunate. Very good. When Prabhupada was spreading Krishna, when Prabhupada was on this planet, very few Indians joined. Very few. I was one of those fortunate souls. And we used to wonder when the Indian youth will. Because when I joined, I thought all my friends will join. Because I felt that this is the real thing, and I thought my friends will. I thought that my friends were intelligent enough to understand that. But not a single friend of mine joined. One friend of mine who were very close to me, he joined, Sarvabhavana Prabhu. He actually joined before me. And so this is how, it's a matter of intelligence. Those who are intelligent, they understand. Priyavrata was in London. Another young man.
And I was fortunate enough to have association of Guru.
Priyavrata was a manager of an art gallery.
19th century works of art.
In London. But he was very intelligent. He realized that Krishna consciousness is the real thing. So he used to come to the temple every morning, Soho Street Temple. On his way to the temple, you know how Priyavrata used to look? I don't want to embarrass him, but at the same time, I can't keep your curiosity. He used to come to a temple wearing a three-piece suit, perfectly, immaculately dressed. And he used to have a goatee beard. And naturally, he looked much younger. And he used to attend the Bhagavatam class. He used to attend every morning. He used to come before the Bhagavatam class, before the deity greetings. And he attended the class, And after the class, during the prasad, he used to serve prasad to all the devotees. And then he used to take a little prasad and go to work. So one day I told him, why are you wasting your time? I mean, you are convinced about Krishna consciousness. So why are you carrying on? So he had excuses. But one day I told him, look, I need a driver to drive me. Drive me to Italy. And from London we went to Nice, yeah? Somewhere?
Yes, first we went to
Yeah.
First we came to New Mayapur. I came to Paris.
Yeah,
Paris to New Mayapur, then to South.
right. We drove to Italy. That's a long drive. He's a good driver. And he had a red Ford, yeah.
Ford Sierra.
Yeah, Ford Sierra. And he was driving fast. Sometimes we saw a Ferrari driving. He was faster than a Ferrari. And we waved at the Ferrari car. A lot of fun. But then we ran into a trouble actually. We didn't have the address of the place where we are going. Actually, there was no temple we were going to. Some devotees were in south of France doing a program in Nice or... No, it was Cannes. Cannes.
The Rath Yatra.
Right, yeah, right.
And
And then finally we found, those days there was no mobile phone, there was nothing, and the phone number also was not working. Anyway, finally after a lot of trouble we found them. And it was a Rath Yatra, very nice festival. So this is how devotees at some point realize that Krishna consciousness is important. And then nothing can stop them. So that one trip with me was the end of Priyavrata's apparently materialistic life. Another boy is here. There are so many boys like that. This Nitin Gupta. His name is Vicky, that's why I have difficulty remembering his other name. I thought Vicky. So, he's the only son, but he wanted to become a devotee. And his father is the whole family is so devastated that he came to ISKCON. His father and mother are also involved, but they never thought that the son will go away like this. I didn't take him. He came. And so anyway, this is how it's Krishna's way of attracting his devotees to his lotus feet. People in this material world cannot understand why they do that. Like sometimes they become so upset when their children become devotees. But then eventually they get to see that by these devotees are their real well-wishers. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any question?
Here the description of these two personalities, Nanda and Sananda. Is there any elaborate description about who they are and what they do? And also...
let me see. Bhagavatam has the descriptions, Nanda and Sunanda. They're Lord's associates. Just as Joy and Vijñāya are the gatekeepers, Nanda and Sunandas are Lord's personal associates.
Because most of the pastimes that we hear in the Bhagavatam have taken place in the material world, like Lord's activities when he comes to the earth. But we hear very few pastimes in the spiritual world, what Krishna does in Golok, Vrindavan or in Vaikuntha. So why is it so?
There are some descriptions, for example, Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Gop Kumar, when he goes to Vaikuntha, he sees what the Lord is doing there. Then he goes to Ayodhya, he sees what Ramchandra is doing there. So in this way there are descriptions. Then when the Lord he goes to Vrindavan and he sees what the Lord is doing there, Krishna is doing there. It's like they're here, but not quite like here. There is Kaliya, but Kaliya is not an inimical individual. There is Arishtasura. There is Keshi. But Krishna goes on a joyride with his friends, riding on the back of Keshi. So this is how, in the spiritual sky, there is no animosity. And the pastimes are still there. Brajendra Krishna Das. During 1960s and 70s, we see that the youth of America was frustrated and therefore they accepted Krishna consciousness. But now the condition is much more degraded, but we are finding that very less Americans are accepting Krishna consciousness. Why? Because they are in Maya. Those days, by Krishna's mercy, the Maya was removed. Maya's influence was removed. But now, Maya means what? What is Maya? Maya means illusion. Illusion means to mistake something to be something else. This is a place of suffering, but they are thinking that they are going to enjoy. As you are saying, they are becoming degraded, more degraded. They became more degraded, but they are thinking that out of this degradation, they are going to enjoy. But will they ever enjoy? In this material nature, more they try to enjoy, the more they'll get beaten, more suffer. सुशीला गोपी दासी. अच्छा, तुम्हारा प्रश्न है ये. भगवान का भोग लगाने से पहले भोग की क्या चख सकते हैं? नहीं. अगर भोग चख लिया तो वो भोग नहीं रहा, तुम्हारा प्रसाद बन गया. इसका मतलब ये है कि जब खाना पकाते हो बहुत ध्यान लगा के पकाना, ताकि बिना चाखे हुए तुमको पता लगेगा कि ये कैसे पक रहा है, कैसे बना रही हो तुम, नमक डाला या नहीं. और अंत में क्या हुआ, ये तो दोबारा नमक डाल दिया, नहीं तो एकदम बिल्कुल नमक. Because they are in Maya and they want everybody else to be in Maya. Like say for example, the parents don't want their children to become devotees. They themselves have seen how miserable household life is. But still they want their children to suffer like them. There is a story of a circus. You know the story of the circus? So they're getting beaten up. They're going to a circus tent. They're getting beaten up inside. But when they come out, they don't want to admit that they got beaten up. So when people ask, how was it? Oh, very nice. Because they want everybody else to go there and get beaten up. So consciously or unconsciously, the parents want let everybody suffer. So that is the unfortunate thing. But when personality like Prabhupada comes, what does he say? Says just the opposite. Prabhupada says, for so many lifetimes you are trying to enjoy and you can see that you are still not satisfied. So just offer this life to Krishna and see what happens. Just offer this life to Krishna. And when you offer this life to Krishna, then what happens? How many of you offered your life to Krishna or trying to offer your life to Krishna? And what happened? You are suffering or enjoying? So, that is their, it's not that they do it deliberately, but they don't know anything better. They think this is life. Oh, my son must continue the family line. Like Nitai Chandra's father was so upset when Nitai Chandra became a devotee. He came here and he made me an offer. You let him go and get married and I will become a devotee. I'll join the temple, I'll become a full-time devotee. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Yes.
We should offer everything to Krishna. Even you said that we should study for Krishna.
Yeah.
But, when we go for studies, we don't feel that we are doing for Krishna. We feel that we are doing it for getting grades and how to relate it.
Fine, but at least at the back of your mind you can think that you are doing it for Krishna, right? You may not always remember that you are doing it for Krishna, but from time to time you consider how you are doing it for Krishna, why you are doing it for Krishna, right?
It's for our personal motives that we get, if we get
For example, Arjun is fighting the battle. When he's fighting the battle, what is obsessed with? Enemies and fight. Right? That time he's fighting to win the battle. But at the back of it, who is he fighting for? That's how you have to see. You're doing it for Krishna. Main point, since you're doing it, do it for Krishna. Like 1 or 2 more years, get the degree. Since you're doing it, since you've come this far, might as well complete it. Alright? 2-3 years. And then someday maybe it'll come to some use. Who knows? Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yes?
It is very difficult to balance work life and spiritual life when you are doing job and continuing 12-14 hours at the same time, 4-5 hours. So it's very difficult to maintain our consciousness in your work life.
Fine, then work for Krishna. What do you think of that idea? Will it be... What is better? What is a better option? Work for somebody who is giving you some money at the end of the month? Or work for somebody who is giving you everything that you need? So who is giving you everything that you need? So why not work for Krishna? Huh? Think it over. I'm not forcing you. It's just a proposal. Sushil Das. Who is Sushil? Oh, okay. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Some people worship demigods and think that they are also doing devotional service. Such people tell us that why are you executing Krishna consciousness? And tease us. What should we do? Have a big laugh at him. You can ask them, why are you worshipping demigods? जिसको से पूजा कर रहे हो, why are you worshipping him? See what their answer is. And you can tell them, you see, you are worshipping them to get something from them. But I am worshipping Krishna for what he already given to me. Because he has given everything. I don't need anything. He has taken phalang teshang tad bhavat talpa medhasham. Because their first thing is alpa medhasam. They're less intelligent. And what they get, what they aspire for, what they what they want is perishable, antavattu. It'll come to an end. But the devotion to Krishna will take us back to the spiritual sky.